everyone, how are you doing today? Welcome back. Today we are having my friend Tim. He's the creator of Jax Social Group, and for me, if I have friends in Jacksonville, it's because of him. So, how are you doing, Tim?
Doing great.
Man, I'm glad you are here because you really don't know how much I appreciate you for making me have all of these friends. I'm famous now in Jacksonville because of you, so thank you.
My pleasure.
I believe too many people would give you this credit for having friends here, making close friends because of Jax Social Group. And for who doesn't know, Jax Social Group is a group in Jacksonville who on Meetup app make people meeting, right? Like you can describe it better than me. What's the idea of Jax Social Group exactly?
It's basically just a social club where people come to events to meet each other.
Okay.
And the more events you come to, the more connections you make and just naturally make friends. Like it's like going to work.
Yes.
And when you go to the first day of work, you're not going to get someone's number and go out with them. But after you see them over and over again, you just naturally like, oh, I like pickleball, you like pickleball, I like doing podcasts, you like doing podcasts.
Yes.
Come to my house, I'm doing this. So it's an easy way to make friends. And I really like doing it. I'm a natural host, and I just feel like I'm doing what I'm good at. And it's fun.
To be honest, it's exactly what you said. When I moved to Jacksonville in the beginning, I had no friends, and someone told me about Meetup and looking for Jax Social Group, and I joined. In the beginning, it was not that hard, but not that easy. But now I have too much friends because of it. So
Good problem to have.
yes, and I'm glad really you made it. But how the idea came to you?
So when I first moved to Jacksonville, I just knew one person,
Okay.
and I was living in his apartment. And I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm a social guy. So I just started looking online, Google. I found a chamber events, I found networking clubs, I found the Meetup app, and I just loaded my schedule with like 15 events probably.
Oh, wow.
Something, a lot of events. I just started doing a bunch of stuff. And I ran into this Meetup group that was doing a Taco Tuesday.
Oh, wow.
And it was really fun. And the first ever event that I went to, I met my roommate, my girlfriend, and my business partner on the first one.
That's it.
Yep. And then so I started going back to that group over and over again. And I just took it over from there. And
So you decided to make it bigger and make it Jax Social Group we're seeing now.
yeah, exactly. I realized at one point, so the Meetup app is a feeder, and we started a group chat. And the person doing the events on the Meetup app stopped doing them. And I realized that it wasn't growing anymore. And right there, I was like, uh-oh, I've seen this before. If it's not growing, it's dying.
Yes.
And so I've seen that when I lived in Oklahoma, right? I had no friends there, build it up to 20 friends. One person gets a girlfriend, one person moves, one person is
You lose
busy.
all of them
Yeah,
somehow.
and next thing you know, it's me and Slayton.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy crap, where did the 20 people go that we used to hang out with? And so I recognized the pattern, and
And it's growing.
Yep.
It's growing so fast.
Yep. So I'm obsessed with having new events, meeting new people, because I know that if it's not growing, it's dying. I mean,
That's
it's
true.
just-
I can say when I joined, it was 200 or something because I joined 2 years now, or very close to be 2 years, and now it's
3,000.
yes, so 200 to 3,000 in a year or and a half or almost 2 years. That's a lot.
Yeah,
You know?
and not all those members are active, right?
Yes.
And people, that happens. People meet their group of friends. Like you met a lot of people. You're like, okay, I know 50 people. Do I really need to know 53 now? Like,
Exactly. I have already my close friends.
Yeah.
I still going to the events who I like,
right.
which is a lot of them, but still I have my own group of people, you know?
Right.
You need to keep making new friends every time.
Yeah.
That's why I like it, I guess.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Like it's fun to hang out with you and your three homies, you know.
But I feel you enjoy it. You don't do it just because you wanna to be out or social. You enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. If I'm at my house by myself, I want to fall asleep and just like lay on the ground, you know. But as soon as I hear some noise, I'm like, ooh, who's that? You know, like
What's happening outside?
Yeah, you're like, hey, you want to do a podcast? I'm like, yeah, sweet. Pablo will be there. Okay, cool.
Shout out for Pablo.
Yeah.
He's my producer here. So okay, so yeah, I feel you are enjoying it when I see you outside. You're making new friends, helping people to make friends. So
yeah, and I'm an extrovert, so when I talk to people, I get more energy. Like when I come back from an event at midnight, I'm like excited. I don't go to sleep. Some
Have
people
you
get
always been
drained.
that? Have you
Yeah.
always been extrovert?
And I've always been the guy that hosts the events. Like
Uh-huh.
I had the poker game. I'm always the flag football coach.
Okay.
I'm always the organizer.
You enjoy it. That's why I'm saying you
Yeah.
really love it. And so let's make the people know who is Tim away from Jax Social Group. So where you are from exactly? Which state?
I'm from New Hampshire.
Okay.
Yep. And I joined the military,
Uh-huh.
and I went to Destin, Florida, Dayton, Ohio. Then I was an electrical engineer at a fertilizer plant, Wichita, Kansas, and then Enid, Oklahoma. I moved with a job. And then I took a 4-month trip through Mexico.
Okay.
And my Spanish is, yeah.
We can know.
Yeah.
We can tell.
Yeah, I'm like tango and taco, you know.
Yeah.
Then I came back home and moved to Columbus, Ohio, where I flipped a house, and I started a cleaning company, and then I moved down here.
What made why Jacksonville?
I knew one person randomly that
Okay.
had an extra bedroom. It wasn't a lot of thought. Like I do stuff spontaneously. Like so. He was like, I met him at a wedding, long lost buddy, and he was like, dude, I was like, yeah, Columbus is awful. It's like gray, people are not as friendly, you know. And so I moved down. I just came down to visit for a month, quit my cleaning company, and I decided to stay.
Are you this kind of person who takes risk and leave everything and start over from anywhere else? You don't care about this? You are
I've
this
had
kind
9 lives. Yep.
Oh, really? 9 lives?
I mean, I was, you know, I grew up in New Hampshire, and then I was in the Air Force, electrical engineer, cleaning company, flipped a house, tried a little production company, tried to copy Pablo, didn't work. You know, black car service, Jax Social Group. So I've done a wide, varying array of
9
things.
jobs or 9
Well,
lives, as you
maybe,
say.
yeah, you know, that's it's a.
Do you can say this is your favorite?
Yeah, I love
This
Jacksonville.
one is your favorite now?
Yeah, and the sunshine really helps. Like, I don't think people understand the difference. So I'd be happy here, probably, you know, being a sanitation worker as opposed to being an electrical engineer.
Especially you grow up in New Hampshire in that cold, so maybe you are really enjoy it here. But in the 9 lives, 9 jobs, 9 cities or places, why you think doing Jax Social Group and doing your life, whatever you have now, and being Jacksonville is your favorite? Why?
Because I'm just a social guy, like extroverted extrovert.
Okay.
So it's like I schedule so many events of my own, and then I go to chamber events. When you guys don't see me, I'm walking my dog, talking to the neighbors. Like it's just I'm always around people. And
Yeah, I know that.
yeah, I'm a people. Yeah, people.
So you
person.
feel happier.
Yeah, and the
this time.
sunshine just brings everybody out. Like yesterday, we were doing a run on the beach at 7 a.m.
In the
can't-
cold
yeah,
for some
exactly.
other states, you know?
And Dayton, Ohio would be pulling teeth trying to get somebody to go to, you know, Cantina Louis or some crappy taco restaurant, you know.
Okay.
And, you know, so here it's like 30 people show up, and I'm like, ooh, sweet.
Yeah, that's something Florida only know it,
Yeah.
or maybe California, but Florida famous about it. The weather is great,
Right.
and you can do whatever you want. You don't care about the weather a lot, but yeah, I feel you are happier, enjoying it more here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Is that like the personality of you? You feel sometimes you get tired of being social
No.
at all?
No. I was looking at my schedule for maybe next Sunday, and I had like a 4-hour event in the morning, a 4-hour event in the afternoon, and then someone was like, hey, can you do something Sunday night? I'm like, yeah, how long? Yeah, 4 hours. So I can do 12 hours
Really?
of events. Yeah.
You know, for me, I'm very social. You saw me, and I'm very social also. But I need to recharge someday. You know, like I've been out, and one day I said like, "Whew, I need a break," and I take like a few days a break or whatever. And I feel everyone should that, but I'm surprised you don't, because I don't see you rest at all.
Maybe one day every 2 weeks or something.
Shut down.
Yeah, maybe. But even then, like I have to be productive.
Okay.
I have to be doing something. I have a lot of energy. I have to be on the move. People are like, oh yeah, I'll take today off. I'm like, take the day off? What?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's Sunday. No, not me.
Not even Sunday or Saturday off. You don't like this?
No, yesterday I got up at 7, did a run, came back, like cleaned the house, then I had a ride I had to do, and then I went to a gala, then I did another ride, and then when I got back, I tried to start making a post. Like, yeah, it's just...
That tell who is Tim, you know? Like,
Yeah.
When I ask it who is Tim, that's Tim, you know? Like,
Yeah.
he's ongoing all the time.
All the time.
You can ask Tim about I want to do that. Hey, let's do it. You know,
Yeah,
like he will
yeah.
never say no. That's
Yeah.
what I like about you.
I consider myself, I think there's a negative connotation, but as a yes man, I always say yes to everything. Like somebody's like, let's do something. I'm like, yes.
Do you
let's
feel
do
you are a yes man all the time?
My life has been better because I take opportunities. Some innocuous opportunity. I don't know if that's the right usage of the word, but some like, okay, cool. You want to do a podcast? We're probably not going to break the internet with this, but I'm still think that there might be some way somebody sees it. Oh, I meet some new person.
Yeah.
That person, introduced me to this person, and then that's my new business partner.
Yeah, there is
or something like that. Like you never know. I'll tell you this one story. I went to a training class back in Wichita. I was living in Oklahoma at the time, and I went to this training class. I did not want to go. It was about electrical systems, like super boring. I knew I was going to hate it. And my boss says, no, you have to go. I'm like, dude, do I have to? He's like, yes. So I went anyway, and I ran into an old buddy, and I just sat next to him, and he turned out he was buying a duplex at the time. And I was like, cool. I'm like, let me see those numbers. And we started going over the numbers, and I was like, holy crap, 17%? That's a great return. It's better than the stock market. And then the day two, halfway through, he's like, hey, man, I just got a text. There's a duplex across the street opening up and or for sale. He's like, you want to go in with it? And I ended up buying that duplex and another duplex, and we still own them to this day. And that was 8
it's a good
years ago.
investment, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So I take these opportunities where they're random, like, boom. If I didn't go to that class, I wouldn't have 2 duplexes.
Yes. They always saying, don't ever regret for something you did. Regret for something you didn't do.
Right.
Like, I regret I didn't go there. But if you did it, you did it. You know, what's going to happen? You know?
Yeah, and there's not a lot of magic that happens sitting at home in my world, anyway.
That's really good. I like it. Like, you are ongoing.
Yeah.
Whatever happened, gonna happen, you know?
Yeah, I don't see myself as having a lot of skills, but I see myself as like a networker and taking opportunity, like the other people, leveraging other people more than, some people can sit there and code by themselves in a dungeon and produce something. I need to be around other people and connecting people and leveraging other people's skills.
Do you ever see yourself quitting the Jax Social Group life?
Yes.
You see yourself?
I don't think anything's forever. I have no plans of doing it, of quitting, but another opportunity might come along, and DeSantis calls, and I need to go do that. Like, okay, oh shoot, no, sorry, I have to do Jax Social Group. Sorry, I can't work on your campaign or whatever.
I know you want to be a mayor one day. So
yeah, exactly, something like that.
He's not joking, by the way. He want to be a mayor of Jacksonville.
Yeah, exactly. Or somebody, one of my connections was like, hey, do you want to run this restaurant or something? And then I might have to do that. But I still like doing events. I still like meeting people. I would still do events. Maybe it's not under the guise of Jax Social Group, but I would still do something.
So no plan for now, but it's something in your mind. Maybe one day you will leave it for someone else.
Yeah, perhaps, yeah.
How do you see the future in general?
I see it has to get better, and not that it's bad now, but if it's not growing, it's dying. So I see getting bigger events and bigger events, working with the city. I'm trying to do a block party on Bay Street. They have placemaking money. I'm submitting for that.
Okay.
And so I just want to do bigger and bigger things until next thing you know, the whole city knows who the Jax Social Group is.
Do you have a best memory in any event or something story happened from someone?
I think my favorite event was the first beach bonfire bash. There was 150 people.
Oh, okay.
And we have 4 fire pits, s'mores. It was a lot of fun. The second one was a lot of fun too. That was 250 people.
I've never been in anyone. I don't know why. Somehow I wasn't here. I don't remember, but
yeah. You have an unexcused absence on my.
I think I was in Egypt. That's an excuse.
Oh yeah, you were in Egypt. I think.
I was in Egypt the last one. Yes, but I heard it was fun.
Yeah, they're fun.
But do you have a memory, like something happened, someone told you a story, man, I appreciate what you did for whatever, or something good memory for doing that? Because I feel you helped a lot of people. Some people doesn't say it or know it, but you helped some people to meet.
Yeah, we were working out this morning, and there's just 3 of us, and each one of them met their girlfriend through the group. So
Oh, really?
yeah, so I've connected a lot of people, and it's actually kind of overwhelming at this point, right? Like 3,000 people. I probably met 2,000 people through it, and
It's very hard to remember.
yeah, like you're saying, it's not rare that somebody invites me over to a party. Like I came over to a party over here, and it was a bunch of just people that met through the events. We went to that Friendsgiving, like 18 out of 19 people had met through the events, and so it's kind of a lot, and
Overwhelming sometimes.
yeah, it makes me happy too. Like, you know, I'm just doing what I like and what I'm good at, and it benefits other people. I think that's a win-win for me.
Would you ever feel like, I wish I didn't do it, or I wish I didn't do something about it, or something did it different?
Sometimes I maybe I get a little, I don't know, a negative feeling. I'm not sure, not sad, but when I know that I've helped somebody a lot, and then I ask for help and they don't give it, then I'm like, man. I'm like, man.
Sometimes, yeah, it's about this. You think you meet friends, but they are not a real friends.
Right,
Because they
right.
are here for a reason, not for you. So sometimes it hurts when you are helping, and when you ask for help, you don't see them or find them.
Yeah, and that's just the nature of the game. Like, you have to be a giver. You have to give more than you receive. And, you know, if I've given to 1,000 people, you know, maybe 20 will give back. But those 20 is huge, right?
Yeah.
The duplexes, I didn't have to find the duplexes. I didn't have to come up with all the money. You know.
Do you made really good friends from there?
It's interesting. I definitely have some really good friends from the group, but I have way more acquaintances. I was looking for the word. Acquaintances than I have true friends. Maybe really just a small amount of friends, like 5. You know, I'll go out to a group, 30 people, but really only 5 people I would say are my friends.
Good friends.
Yeah.
It's not about quantity. I'm always saying I'm not happy to have tons of friends, but none of them I trust or I know when I need will be there for me. I can have only one, and it can be better than 10, you know? So sometimes the quality is better than quantity. So 5 of 20 or 5 of even 1,000 is great, but if they are a good 5 friends, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I definitely have some people I can count on. Jen, Marco, Eric. There's a bunch of people out
Good
there.
friends.
Yeah, that I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah.
I appreciate
Fabi.
that. That is great.
Yeah.
Shout out for Fabi.
Yeah. That's why I look the way I do. Thank you, Fabi.
Yeah, like the little Santa.
Yeah,
there is a little Santa.
Yeah, exactly.
We are Christmas time, so that makes sense now, because if you see this episode anytime after Christmas, this is Christmas time, okay?
That's right, yeah.
He's not wearing every day. It's just for Christmas time.
Yeah, thank you, Muhammad. Yeah, it's clear for
But I
the
make people
audience.
like, what he's wearing, you know?
Yeah.
I like that. So I was always thinking lives, I like to make lives as a chapters or parts. So you said you had 9 lives or 9 jobs, but not necessary to be a 9 parts of your life. Your life as a years growing up can be different parts. Yeah. Can you say how many parts you have in your life? Like you can split your life for...
Yeah, my childhood was one, and then college, and then when I did the military, then I was an electrical engineer at a fertilizer plant, and then my time in Columbus, and time traveling too. I took 4 months off from being an electrical engineer to doing what I was now. And that was a really important part of my life. That's when I learned photography, and that's a big reason why.
Where did you go?
I went to Mexico.
Oh,
you said Guatemala, yeah. So I spent 4 months, and I just would walk around the town taking pictures.
How was that?
It was fun. It was fun and dangerous.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I got robbed by the cops. I got punched in the face by the Mexican cartel. I got held up at gunpoint.
Oh, wow. You really, people love you there.
Yeah. Well, when you're an American in Mexico, it's like you just have like a hologram money symbol running atop of your head.
Okay, yeah.
And so they just, and it's just, I think it's a poor country. And so there's not as much money going around. So people resort to other ways to get money.
Yes.
And yeah, so it's not that safe, but I had a ton of fun and I love it. And I met maybe my 10th day in of a 4-month trip. I met 2 guys from Monterey. Okay. And so that's north, and I traveled around the whole country. And when I traveled back, it was my last stop. I stayed in their house. So I met them for 3 hours in a hostel one night, and I stayed in their house for 2 days.
Oh, wow.
My last
Just
2 days.
because you met them on the road.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
That's
So
nice about traveling
that's
and
how
meeting
traveling.
new people. And you learn from the culture. Like, you know more stuff when you are there.
Yeah.
Meeting the new people, understand the culture, the food, all the ways they life. Because I feel people in America, life is hard, of course, but not harder as maybe in a poor country or like less luxury life.
Yeah.
As I came from Egypt or the Middle East,
Life is easy over here.
It's easier than there. I'm not saying easier because I know people here are very struggling also, but struggling with the stuff, if you think about it from other people, now you have a bill issue, like you didn't pay your bills or your money problem or salary or whatever, you can fix it.
Yeah, we have first world problems over here. Like, oh, my
Yes.
phone didn't work for a day. It's like, who cares? You know, like, oh,
I hate my job. Why?
Yeah,
My boss
exactly.
is an asshole.
Yeah.
What,
You hate your job where you're making 80 grand a year. You're like, oh, boo-hoo, Oh, I live in a luxury apartment.
Yeah, but when you go to these places, you will really surprise. Wow, I didn't have a life.
When I was
or
driving,
I didn't have a problem.
Yeah, when I was driving through Guatemala, this place named Samut Champay. It's like they have lazy river. We were going. It's in the middle of nowhere, so we had to drive 7 hours to get there. Halfway there, 3.5 hours in, we're like crawling over these little rocks, going super slow on this back road that's not paved. And there's been no town for like an hour. We're driving like 7 miles per hour. And we go by this guy that has a band on his head and he's carrying sticks on his back. Like he's using his forehead to carry sticks. And I'm like, where is he coming from? And then we kept driving for like another hour and I didn't see anything. Like this guy's bringing sticks. Like we would do like click, Amazon, and this guy has to lug sticks through the forest to make a fire to eat or something.
Nowhere, like.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm like, your service went out and your Uber Eats didn't work. Oh, sorry, bro.
You can't go to Walmart to buy anything. You have to find it.
Yeah, exactly.
Find your stuff.
Yeah, these guys are having to hunt their food down and cook it.
Yeah, this kind of life, and not even just in nowhere, even in the big city or something, life is not easy as here. That's why I like to travel and explore. It will open your eyes for the kind of life outside of America.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah, it's a good perspective. People want to complain about the cops or they want to complain, like the people are like, oh, America's so racist, or the transgenders, or whatever the abortion, whatever the latest complaint is, climate change. When I came back from Mexico from 4 months, I wanted to kiss the ground. I was so happy. I was like, oh my God, I'm back and I'm safe. Okay. I felt safe. Okay. I rock around Jacksonville. Nothing worries me in Jacksonville. And, I saw 2 cops in the restaurant. The first thing my first instinct was to go up to them and hug them.
The cops.
It's a
You'll
cops.
never understand what they're doing.
People are like defund the police and this, that, and the other. To me, that's you have a lack of perspective. It's big time if that's how you think. Because down in Mexico, I got robbed by the cops. They were robbing me. They would pull you over and be like, "Oh, your license plate ends with an 8 and it's Tuesday, so that's a 10,000 peso fine."
They make money from that.
Yep. Okay. You have to bribe them. We were on the beach in Mazunte, Mexico, and there was 6 of us laying around, and there's 4 guys with assault rifles walking down, cops, and they were trying to, they're like looking for drugs or whatever, and so they're like over here, we're like, hey, empty your shoe, and I'm like, well, okay, whatever. Meanwhile, the other guy was robbing some guy's wallet over here. One guy would distract us while the other guy was robbing the police.
This is the kind of life you have to go to understand how the life here,
Yeah.
And I know it because I came from different countries and I know how it looks like outside. So I can understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
But back to the parts, as you said, you split it for a few parts, I think 6 parts. Which one is your favorite of all of them?
Surprisingly, Mexico was a lot of, really? As much as I complained, I had a ton of fun.
Yeah.
I had a ton of fun. It was amazing.
The experience is
I met 300 people. you make friends instantly. You walk into a hostel and you're like, oh, you're from somewhere not here. I'm from somewhere not from here. You want to go to lunch? Yep.
That easy.
Yeah, I met someone from New Hampshire and I traveled with him for 3.5 months. I'm still friends with him.
Oh, okay.
Yep. He lived an hour away from where I live in New Hampshire.
Would you go back to New Hampshire?
Would I move back?
Would you like to, you call it home, to go back to live there again, or Florida forever now?
I never say anything is for certain because I've done crazy things I never thought I would do.
Yeah.
But I have no plans of moving back to New Hampshire, and I have no plans of leaving Florida. But it's possible. It's possible, but...
Do you call it home?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. New Hampshire's home. I love New Hampshire. My dad does big stuff up there, so if he ever needed help, I would gladly leave temporarily to go back to help my dad.
Okay.
But that's the only reason I would move back.
You call home because of your dad there, or because you grow up there?
Because I grew up there.
So.
And my parents are still there. They're still together.
But if let's say your parents came to Florida, like too
That'd
many
be
people
awesome.
in North moving to South,
Yeah.
right? But let's say they moved here. Would you still call New Hampshire home?
Oh, yeah.
The house here will be home?
New Hampshire is always going to be home. Yep.
It's about where you grow up and the nostalgia or the memories you made there, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because actually it's a question I always been asking. What is home? Is it where you grow up, or where is your family is, or the people you love? Because
that's interesting, yeah.
you are here now, right? Let's say you married and you have kids. Do you still call here home or New Hampshire home?
I guess if you come here long enough, then this would be home.
Yeah, so the home is where you have your people? Because it's really controversial, because even for me, Egypt is home.
Yeah.
But what if I have a house here and I got married and I have kids? This is home, right? Like I want to go home, it's mean I want to go to my wife and my kids. So which one is home, This is something in my mind I always think about it,
I think New Hampshire is definitely my home
right
now. Yeah, but if I live here for 40 years, then maybe this would be home.
Yeah. I feel that. I feel like the memories make it home as a nostalgia, but the way you will have your family this is a real home. Like home is where you belong to the people more than memories, right? I think so. That's what I believe. It doesn't mean everyone will believe agree with me.
Yeah,
but
no, you're wrong, Mohammed. Out. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. For me, home is where people I love were. Not just the memories. The memories in my mind anyway. So when I visit my home, I will remember Egypt. But still, if I have a family here and my kids and my wife and all of this, I think this will be home for me. Right?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah, it's different for everyone, I know, but I just wanted to know.
And probably it depends how much you like. Like I like New Hampshire, so I have a fond memory of it. I'm okay calling
it's
that
always
home.
be home. Okay.
Yeah, if I grew up in the Bronx or something,
okay.
somewhere dumpy,
So how was growing up in New Hampshire?
It's nice. It's suburbia. It's like a Boston suburb.
Okay.
And it's very white collar, and there's not a lot of crime. We would leave our keys in our car overnight and unlocked. We wouldn't ever worry about getting robbed.
It was safe all the time.
It's pretty safe where I grew up, anyway.
Okay. Do you enjoyed your childhood there? At this time you really.
Yeah, and I have really good parents too. So I have a very loving mother and a very hardworking dad that I respect a lot.
That's very sweet.
Yeah, yep. And my dad set a really good example. He didn't really teach me anything with words. I was like, dude, how do you become successful? And he's like, you just do it. Like, that's my dad's life advice. Yeah, I'm like, oh, sweet.
Okay, I know how to do it. Yeah.
After one thing that my dad did was he had to borrow my car once when I was 16 years old because his car was in the shop or something. Okay. And when he dropped the car off the next day, I went in it and the dashboard was perfectly clean and the gas was always filled up. Okay. And I was like, man,
you want to borrow again?
Yeah, exactly. And it just made me like, oh, sweet. Whenever someone does you a favor, if you try to make them want to do the favor again for you.
You have to pay back.
Yeah, even though my dad could just be like, give me your car, kid. But he kind of set an example and taught a lesson.
He teach you this lesson without telling you.
Exactly.
You understand if someone did a favor for you, you have to pay back in your way. You don't need to pay money. You just do it in your way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if someone lets you borrow something, you want them to give it to you again or extend that favor.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're ruining the relationship a little bit. So you want to be a giver, and I always remember that. And and that's why now if my dad made the call, hey, I need you to move back to New Hampshire, I'm like, sorry, Mohammed, I gotta leave the podcast.
You have to go.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, it's a very good bond with the family.
Yeah.
Like you are a very strong family. That's good,
Yep. And he always worked really hard. Like he would be gone working.
Okay.
And then I was like, why is this dude sleeping all day, every Saturday? It's wild. And now I realize, like, oh man, now that I get no sleep during the week.
Busted all the week.
Yeah, I'm sleeping on like Saturday and waking up at like 2, like, oh, what the heck,
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's interesting how a good example.
Do you have a very good memory with him?
I don't think I have any specific memories. It was just the aggregate, like just the
normal life.
Yeah, and I would like to be my dad when I grow up.
Really?
So yeah, exactly. He set a very good example, and I didn't know. You don't know it as a kid, and I didn't really realize it until maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and I stopped living with him 20 years ago.
Oh wow!
And so it takes a long time to set in.
But growing up a kid now is very different than growing up a kid at this time. So do you think it's easy now to do it the same way as him?
I think you have to have discipline and integrity. My dad has a lot of integrity.
But you didn't have social media at this time. You didn't have the bad influence around you all the way, Like here, the new kids, everywhere they find something to influence them.
Yeah.
You didn't have that much before. Think about it when you were young. Who would influence bad at you as now?
But even with that, with being the case, my dad, he took things into his own hands. The public school, he didn't agree with it. So what did he do? He ran for school board. It was 5 Democrats. He's a Republican, and then he was the one Republican, and then he got 2 other Republicans, and then he got elected the chairman of the school board, and they made all these changes. Okay. And not only that, he took me out and put me into private school. So it's like, my dad didn't like something. Yeah, he just takes the world, he's like, this is the new, he just changes stuff. He makes things happen. And so that's what I like to do. I'm like, if I want to be mayor, then I'm going to be mayor. Okay. That's how my dad thinks. That's how I think. Okay. I'm a little replica of my dad.
That's it. And I think the way you are saying it, if you have a kid, you can make him or make the kid away from the bad thing around them, because we are living in a hard world now. Yeah. Especially for young kids. We
are, and I think you just have to have discipline. I go on the treadmill every day. I don't want to do it, but I have to do it because I told myself I was going to do it, and I have to set the example. And so that's how my dad was. He's like, he probably didn't want to do half the crap he did, but he's like, I got little kids watching me. My wife is watching me. The town is watching me, and he's risen up to the highest ranks in New Hampshire. Like he's number 2 after the governor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the governor endorsed his opponent, and my dad won 70-30. So he's a G. And that's so I'm very fortunate. I don't think a lot of people have good parents, or as good parents, and that's why I want to have a kid.
That's a good example. Like, will make you want to be a good dad.
Yeah,
a good parent. That's a good. Like, growing up with them made you. I want to be like them. Yeah. I want to give the same vibe, same life to my kids.
Yeah, exactly. You're always being watched.
Have you ever afraid of having kids in this life now?
No.
Really?
No.
I am a little bit. Yeah, like when I'm thinking about it, because it's not only me. Like you can, at least I'm saying about myself, I can try to keep them away from all the negativity around us, but still the mom effect, the school effect, social media.
Yeah, I think if you choose a good partner, and your kids, you're the biggest influence in your kids' lives, as long as you don't schlub off and say, here's the phone, like, I'm going to go watch TV, you go play on the phone. And now they're just getting propaganda injected into their brains. Yes. So if you take the time to go play with the kid, maybe you don't want to
see what they are doing.
Yeah, I got to make sure they're doing their homework. If you actually care and you have a good partner, I don't think there's anything that would, that's how I think. Like, I don't care.
I agree with that, but
Yeah.
I feel it's hard this time.
It's definitely hard.
Yeah,
It's not supposed to be easy. If it was easy, then we'd have a bunch of better people walking around this planet.
That's true, especially now.
Yeah, instead we have a bunch of aimless, people crying and complaining about climate change or, whatever is popular in the news nowadays. Like, the people they don't even know. Like, you know that 1 in 3,000 people is transgender? That's such a tiny fraction. How does it get such? Every time I look at my LinkedIn, there's obvious guys that have he, him on it. Why do you have to broadcast to the world that you're a he from this movement? Like, it's insanity to me. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It is.
It's
I agree
crazy.
with you. I agree with you. Well, I have a game we always playing in the end of the podcast. So it's about imagining game. Okay? So I will ask you, and you tell me the answer with 3 reasons why. Okay? Let's start. What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Why?
Maybe because it signifies intelligence.
Okay. 2 more reasons. How
It's,
do you see
it's
blue?
eisy for me to wear blue.
To fit everything. Actually, you're wearing blue. Okay. This is how much you like it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm very good at seeing what looks good, but I'm not very good at making something look good. If I see somebody wearing nice clothes, I'm like, those are nice clothes, let me take a picture. But I'm not as good as like, hey, let me style you.
Okay.
And so for me, blue is just, it's always
Easy
been
to fit.
easy. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a simplicity lover.
Okay,
Maybe,
that makes sense.
Yeah, maybe it's
I will
simple.
let you know why I'm asking about the color later.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, you said it's a symbol to fit with everything. It's intelligence. Any other reason?
Maybe it's natural, like the
Okay.
sky, and that. I do like nature too. Growing up in New Hampshire, I like
simple,
hiking.
natural things.
Yeah, simple, natural.
Okay.
Yeah,
makes sense.
and I don't know. Yeah.
You will
intelligent.
understand why later. I will let you know.
Okay.
So, tell me your favorite animal.
Dog.
Okay. Why? And 3 reasons also.
They're happy. They're
Okay.
loyal.
Okay.
I really respect loyalty.
Okay.
It's a hard, lonely world in this universe, so it's nice to have loyal people when you need it. And friendly.
I like that. You will understand also why later, but
Yeah,
I like
I'm
that answer.
basically a dog, I guess.
I like it. You will understand why later. Okay. Do you like the sea? Like the beach or the sea in general? Like you watching the sea? You like it?
I like it, but I'm not really a tranquility lover. Like,
Why?
I need chaos in my life. Like,
Yeah.
I'm an organizer.
Okay.
If I go and I'd rather clean a hoarder house than take a perfectly clean house and
Okay.
decorate it. So I don't like to take order and make it chaotic. I like to take chaos and bring it to order.
So you like being organized and everything is in reality? No more fancy stuff sitting in front of the sea and imagining or living in a dreamy life?
Yeah, it's slow. I'm a high energy. I need to be burning my energy off. I need to be moving. Like,
I will let you know also why.
Yeah, if I'm at the ocean, I want to be surfing or playing volleyball or having a party.
Doing something
I
more
need to
than...
be moving, yeah.
Okay, I will let you know what the sea mean later. The last one. Can you see a wall? Like imagine a wall. Can you see it? How you describe this wall?
Just white and blank and square.
What the wall do for you? Like what's the meaning of this wall for you?
Oh, gotta go soon. The meaning of the wall. Maybe strength.
Okay. Any other reasons?
I don't know.
Strength is good. I will let you know.
Yeah,
why.
a barrier maybe, like protection.
Like a privacy, a protection.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I don't need privacy, but
But
like
protection.
protection from the elements, or
I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what this. The color is how you see yourself. So you see yourself. You like to be intelligent,
Yes.
easy to fit, and simple. That's what you say.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's you. That's
100%.
how you see yourself.
Yeah.
Like
maybe
natural.
not intelligent, but at least simple.
You said you like to be at least intelligent.
yeah. It'd be nice to be recognized as
That's
that.
what you said about the blue and
Yeah.
how you see yourself. The animal is your partner or the one you like to be with. So you like the dog, like to be very friendly,
Loyal,
you like
happy. That's exactly right.
This is how you like your partner to look
Yes.
like. Happy, very loyal, you trust them,
Yeah,
and
just
friendly.
just
you
like
have
you, Mohammed.
Thank you. I don't want to be your partner, but thank you. And the C is a love. How you see love? Is it like just going risky, crazy, or you like it to be reality? You like to be organized? You love in your own way. So how you see love is how you see the C. You saw how you say about it. You don't like it just curiosing or like just from out of nowhere. You like to be organized in love, but in certain ways, That's how you see love. And the wall is a marriage. How you see marriage. So you said you like it clean, white, but it's protection and strength.
Yeah.
How you see marriage. Marriage is something important for you.
I agree. Yeah, I believe behind every great man is a great woman, and so I'm leaving a lot of potential on the table without being married.
Well, this is how you see marriage. Like you love to be married or like settle down and having all of this. And this games, sometimes it's not accurate, of course, but
I think that was pretty accurate.
I like
Good job, Mohammed.
I'm glad you came, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Thanks for
It's
having
fun.
me.
Of course.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to do another one. I'm kind of stiff on these things. I need to loosen up.
I know you are going to
go
work.
see me in events. I'm like, oh, hey, Mohammed. And here I'm like, oh.
I wanted to make people to see who is Tim, not
Yeah.
the guy who is having fun, making plans, and taking photos of everyone.
I'm more fun at the events than I am at a podcast.
Okay, go see him in the events.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. JaxSocial.co.
I'm glad you came. I really enjoyed it,
Yeah.
and I hope people enjoy it. It was great, and see you next time. Salam.
Awesome. Thanks, Mohammed.